best match of the whole tournament. To be able to dismiss Michael Chang in straight sets was something to see, and he just continues to have gone on from there. As I said, with every match, he's just getting better and better.
And Tony, as you mentioned, Ivan Lendl has had a more difficult time advancing this far.
He has, but I think that's been good for him, Pat, because he was shy of match play. And so the tough matches early, the fact that he won the first round match, he turned off the Dutchman 6-love in the fifth, and then a pretty easy match against Kunin. But when he got to beat Ivan Izovich and then beat Michael Stieck, the reigning Wimbledon champion, he did a heck of a job getting out of that situation. And I think he's razor sharp right now.
So it'll be Stefan Edberg and Ivan Lendl, two veterans who know each other's game firsthand. First game, first set.
One of the things that I might point out early, and we'll see it unfold, I think, is how many times Ivan Lendl tries to make the backhand passing shot down the line as against cross-court. He goes down the line almost exclusively.
Deuce.
He wasn't quite there for that last Edberg shot, although it was well struck. Ivan Lendl's footwork has not nearly the natural grace and sense of balance than Stefan Edberg's, but as you can see, anytime he can run around and give himself a big forehand, that's what he'll try to do. But his movements are much more taut-looking than his opponents. Edberg, to my mind, has the most graceful game of any player.
Game to Lendl. And he wins the first game of the first set.
You'll see Lendl gets a head start here. He's already started forward before Edberg ever made his shot, because having dipped the ball low, he knew that, or he thought that Edberg would go for the angle. So he's already coming, and that's the way he gets to it.
Game Edberg.
Game to 1-all.
1-all.
In fact, as soon as the men finish resurfacing these courts, they go right to Lendl's house, and he asks that they resurface his court to the exact same specifications and speeds
as the center court, the stadium court. Right.
So he doesn't have to practice here every day.
Love 30.
Tony Roach, the lower right-hand part of your picture with his head down, a great Australian player. It's tough to recognize some of these guys hiding under those hats and sunglasses.
That's him, though. Been Lendl's coach for years and has added so many different dimensions to his game. Chip backhand, better volleying technique. Has given him a much better sense of the whole court. Samantha Lendl, now the mother of 3. They had had their first child, Marika, about a year and a half ago, and now twin girls arrived at the end of July, Isabel and Carolyn. And Yvonne says it's really cut into his golf game. Doesn't golf nearly as much.
That'll
as
do
he
it.
used to.
But I'll bet she doesn't let it cut into his tennis practice and his training much.
Oh, no.
Love 40, so a big chance here for Edberg to get the first break.
Game Edberg.
There's the break. Edberg leads 2-1.
Edberg leads 2-1.
Also, Edberg didn't serve effectively enough, and Lendl took big swings constantly to beat him easily. 3-2.
Love 40.
This looks like he's going to get the break right back, Ivan Lendl.
If you're going to play a volleying side on Edberg, if you have a choice, you'd want to make him hit the forehand volley. He's more vulnerable on that side, more apt to make mistakes. Same off the ground. His forehand is a little shakier. His backhand is a very, very solid shot.
Still a break point.
Missed it.
2-0.
Lendl breaks back. 2-all. One of the greatest records, best career U.S. Open match-winning percentage. Ivan Lendl with the best, followed by Jimmy Connors. This is since the Open began in 1968.
We mentioned earlier the toss of Edberg into the court. This is Lendl serving. See, not as far forward because he's not going to that. He's backing out. He doesn't want to be serving and volleying.
What a great stab. It was 105 mile an hour right into the corner.
40-15.
And Edberg just made a terrific, a desperate backhand stab.
But watch Lendl. He doesn't even flinch. He thinks his serve is out.
Sure.
See, he makes no effort to even go for the ball. Not that he could have gotten there. See, now he looks at the umpire and said, you know, wasn't that serve out?
You really think that's what he said?
Well, maybe not.
That backhand you were talking about.
Advantage Lendl.
Good forehand by Lendl. So difficult, I think, to play the game this way when you're on the baseline all the time. You have to make the good shots because your opponent's coming in and you have to thread the needle. And to do that for 3, 4, 5 sets is very demanding.
Monica Seles will have the same task today against Martina Navratilova in the women's final.
Game to Lendl. 3-2, he leads first set.
3-2.
And he asked that that the blimp make bigger circles.
Have a good match. Monica Seles just checking in at the USTA National Tennis Center.
Watch Edberg close in. He makes a good solid approach, never stops, does a little stutter step, moving forward to get that ball higher than the net. Really a crisp volley, firm wrist. Again, that is his favorite volleying side, the backhand side. Break point for Edberg. Could be a big one.
Game Edberg.
He got it. Edberg leads 4-3 in the first. Some of the other idiosyncrasies, he changes the racket, as Tony said, on every ball exchange, adjusts the racket strings. You've seen him do that. Douses his hands in the grip with sawdust and wipes his brow with his wristband, which is a real king-size wristband.
It's an armband.
Doesn't leave much to chance, this man. Very, very structured fellow. It's interesting, all three breaks in serve in this match have come from that side of the court where Edberg is serving, where the sun is. And yet he himself now is having a very comfortable service game.
Here is Jim Courier, who will face Jimmy Connors later on this afternoon in the other semifinal.
Front of me with that camera.
Arriving. Nice young man.
Big Cincinnati Reds fan.
Also looks like Phil Simms, who used to start for the Giants.
Edberg leads 5-3.
Super Saturday will proceed with the women's finals. Seles and Navratilova to be followed by Courier and Connors. That's all here today here on CBS. Connors and Courier with the same initials, but a substantial difference in age.
Here's one more idiosyncrasy of Ivan Lendl's. For his serve, he bounces the ball 4 times before his first serve, 3 times on his second.
And if you asked him about that, he wouldn't have any idea, I don't think.
No, I don't think so, Tony. I think that, again, I don't think this man does anything without There's a cognitive thought behind every single thing he does. He's a man of routine. He doesn't like when it's shattered by something.
Well, if he's got 3 children, his routine's going to be shattered.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? That's a very good point.
Thirty 15.
It's another look at Stefan Edberg. Those feet always moving. Early racket preparation. Real fine preparation on that backhand volley. Didn't take it back too far. You don't use any wrist on the volleys. Make a shorter punching motion at the ball.
First serve.
That serve was 110 miles an hour. That one 113. It missed.
He had one at 116 just a moment ago, so he's getting it up there.
That's Ivan's third ace off the second serve. That's the first one.
Here's another look. Toss to the left, which would say I'm going to kick it. Instead, he fooled Edberg by breaking it wide.
Advantage Edberg.
The Edberg forehand. Got over the top of that one, directed it well. Now it's set point. Here's Lendl. He stays on that side, but still couldn't handle the down the line forehand.
To Edberg, 6-3.
Lendl's being pushed backwards. He's well behind the baseline, and that backhand down the line, Edberg sits on him. Here's a look at Stefan coming in.
Yeah.
Good firm wrist, knocks off the volley to win the first set.
Men's semifinal. Edberg won the first set and won the first game of the second. Ivan Lendl serving.
That's what Lendl has to do. He's got to step things up a little bit because Stefan Edberg has been dictating in the last 5 games. That's so no one can steal him out of the locker room. Got his name on his shoes. John McEnroe and Pam Shriver, years ago, they were with the same shoe company, and somehow McEnroe got a batch of shoes that said Pam on the back of them. He refused to wear them. So I gave them to my father. He wore them. Said, I can't wear these.
1-all.
1-all, second set.
$30 left. $30-15.
You have to make such good shots to get him past Edberg because he does cover the net so well.
Strong game for Edberg.
Edberg leads
He leads
2-1.
2-1, second set.
Challenged so well by Richard Krajicek, the young Dutch 19-year-old who held 2 match points against Lendl, and it was only his tenacity and his courage in the end that got him through that match. Against Michael Stich, too. Another very difficult 5-setter he was able to win. But just as is happening in this match, it was Lendl who just wasn't able to dictate enough of the time. It was more a beat me if you can situation.
Watch where Lendl is when he tries to make this passing shot. Good approach. Okay, well, that's an ISO on Edberg, so unfortunately, he was about 8 or 9 feet behind the baseline. It's too tough to pass from that deep.
And a tough situation. It's love 40. Edberg gets a break.
And his forehand, though not nearly as pretty as his backhand, is a very solid forehand.
$15-all.
Edberg lets the lob bounce and then goes in behind Ivan Lendl.
At the Australian Open, he's always wearing this.
Says they help keep him cool. That's something he may not want much longer.
That's usually the case when things are going well.
40,
you get the breaks, you make your own breaks. Here's a reverse angle look at Edberg. The very delicate half volley. He's trying to just drop it over the net. Just ticks the top and falls over.
Game Edberg.
Game to Edberg, and we'll be back at the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.
Out. 15-30. $30-all.
30 all. Lendl, as you pointed out, Tony, knew he had to make a change of some kind. And he's becoming more aggressive.
I think it's just not his instinct to serve
No,
and
it
volley. He's not good enough to do that and get away with it, but he has to mix it up some.
That's not the way to mix it up.
His second double.
Game to Edberg. He leads 5-1, second set.
Edberg leads 5-1.
Here comes Lendl. See how deep his shot is. Not very, and you see, never got to the center service line. He thought it was coming back down the line. And now 2 breaks.
Thank you. Quite
And Edberg serving at 1-5. 5-1, actually, sorry.
Right now, let's go down to Andrea Joyce.
I'm with Tony Roach, Yvonne Lendl's coach. What does he need to do right here to take control of this match?
Well, just about everything. His timing's way off. He's very flat at the moment, but to Stefan's credit, he's playing a good, solid match.
Yvonne has had to rely on his survival instinct throughout this tournament. How's that going to help him today?
Well, I mean, I think all those long matches have probably caught up with him mentally. He seems very flat. He just needs to get fired up, you know, and maybe for Stefan just to open the door a little bit, and if he could maybe break early in the third, and he may get a little confidence.
Think we're in for another 5-setter today?
Well, I'd like to think so, but at this stage, things are not looking too good.
All right, thanks very much. Let's go back upstairs.
Coach Roach, very objective about things.
Yeah.
Aussies tend to give you a pretty good take on things. They don't dilly-dally, do they?
No, they'll tell us.
They'll call it pretty straight.
Yeah, they'll call it like it is, and he's realistic enough to know that his charge is in big trouble.
He's just getting outplayed from every department.
Two break points now for Lendl.
Fans are trying to rally him. It'll be tough, though, because Edberg's got that 2-break cushion. So even if Yvonne can snap him here, he'd have to do it again to stay in the second set. There's one.
Well, he got the break.
Ball change.
Still leads
Edberg
5-2.
leads 5-2.
Here's where Lendl just overpowers Stefan because he didn't get on the first volley.
Game Lendl.
Game Lendl.
The last time these two played, it was in a Grand Slam. Well, he's won those 4 Grand Slam titles, 2 Australians and 2 Wimbledons, but they've all been on grass. The Australian Open now is on a rubberized cement court, but when Edberg took his 2 titles there, it was still at the Kooyong Stadium on grass. And of course, his Wimbledon titles are on grass. So he wants, like Boris Becker when he won here 2 years ago, he wants to prove he can win on a non-fertilized surface. He thinks he can even win the French Open, and so does Tony Picard.
He got close against Michael Chang in the final over there, but he ran out of gas. He got tired at the end. He hit a lot of balls on that red clay.
When Edberg was growing up, his coach was Percy Rosberg, the same guy who had brought along Bjorn Borg, but he didn't feel that he was pushed hard enough by that man, so he went to Picard. Picard says the problem in the beginning with Stefan was that he was such an introvert, and he said that tended to stifle his talent. He said he had so much talent that he could hide behind it, and he needed someone to tell him that's not acceptable.
Great shot. Boy. Actually, Lendl has returned better in this game, but he doesn't have much to show for it because of shots like this. That is a tough volley to make, stretched out. That's the weaker of the volleys for Edberg. The forehand, he just handled it beautifully, so he has 2 set points.
That's very uncharacteristic.
And we'll see if it ends up being very costly. Don't know whether he relaxed or what. Very careless on this one. Took a bit of a swing at it. You know, if he runs the set out here, that'll disappear from his mind. If he loses this game, he'll remember that one for a long time.
Second set to Edberg. Second set also 6-3.
2 sets to love.
2-love. Lendl will serve.
Seats, please.
The first game of the 3rd set. Whatever the crowd gets settled to his satisfaction.
Quiet, please.
Someone said he keeps a game plan under his hat. Time to change hats.
You know, you do become a little fatalistic. You play matches like this. You say, I either have to make shots or I'm out. That's all there's to it. That's why the good players don't really freeze often under pressure. If I were Lendl right now, I would try to play the Edberg forehand almost exclusively. Here comes Lendl in, not quite deep enough, though he hit it hard.
30 all.
You couldn't ask for a nicer day to be
Boy.
playing these matches. It's not too hot, not too much wind, just a little breeze.
Game to Lendl.
I don't. I do? No, I don't know. I know she got 2 pair of glasses.
Yeah. Edberg has won the first 2 sets. 6-3 and 6-3. Lendl held his serve in the first game of the 3rd set.
Edberg's only won 3 tournaments this year, which is not a lot for him.
He's played a lot this fortnight, perhaps too many, as his coach suggests.
That shot gets him to 2 break points.
Yeah, Edberg has gone for a new racket.
I don't think he broke his other one. I suspect he might be going something that's strung maybe a little tighter for control. Conditions seem to be a little fast out there. Lendl finished up almost back by the clock.
30-40.
He was forced so far back. Watch him when he makes his backhand. It's a good one, but when he's falling away, look at him. There's no way he could recover, even if he wanted to. There's this ISO on Edberg. And now he looks up and he said, well, Yvonne's not in the neighborhood, so I'm okay there.
That's just it, Tony. Stefan Edberg has every positional advantage in this match.
Well, as you pointed out earlier, Mary, he's the one that's at the net, king of the hill. And the other, you have to say, pass me, pass me, pass me, pass me. And I'm not just going to stand there. I'm going to make a few volleys, too, by the way.
And not only that, but off the ground, you know, he's a big guy with big ground strokes himself. Lendl can't hit him off the ground as he can so many other opponents. So he doesn't win that battle either. That was a nice short backswing that Lendl had to take, in which I really think he's got to either abbreviate the backswing as he did here, or quicken it. See, that one there was nice and short, and he got a good ride on the ball.
Also, normally when he takes that short preparation, he goes under the ball. That time he went over it, and that would work very well for him, I think. One thing we've learned is you don't count on Ivan Lendl out when he's down 2 sets to love. In '84 at the French, he was playing John McEnroe in the finals. He had never won a Grand Slam, and he came back to win that in 5 and win his first Grand Slam title. At Wimbledon against Malavia, Washington, he was down 2 sets to love.
How was this here?
He figures a way to win. This opened against Krajicek and Stick. He won in 5.
He has another break point. He lost the first 2 sets, by the way, to Krajicek. Advantage Lendl, break point number 4.
That was Edberg's second double.
This could be such a breakthrough game for Ivan Lendl if he were able to break here, consolidate the lead to 2-love. I just feel emotionally, even, he needs to make the break here, get himself going in this what could be the final set of the semifinal.
That's what Tony Roach said earlier. Is emotionally, he seems like he's drained.
Flat, yeah.
Flat. There's only ace.
And Edberg has the advantage now. to even the third set at 1 apiece.
There's that last point, placed right in the corner.
That's out. The shot by Lendl behind the back.
You know he surrendered in the point when he draws that. Mishit volley by Edberg. And that, what should have been a winner, he misses in the alley, and we'll see what that does to him. Look at this. That'll be in every highlight package.
Oh, it should be.
It's really beautifully struck, and you have to keep in mind, this is not a whimsical fellow. This is not something that that Ivan Lendl feels like doing. It was really his only play because he was so out of position. That was really the first burst of excitement that the fans were able. I mean, neither one of these guys is exactly a party waiting to happen.
Mary, you know, I do the corporate clinics and things like that, and I just hear him say, now teach me how to hit that ball behind the back like we saw, you know, Lendl do at the U.S. Open. They want the top spin lobs, all that kind of stuff.
And of course you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
How about the between the legs? That goes over pretty well.
Edberg survives all that.
I think one of the things, though, is Kerr is going to hit the ball off the ground hard enough that he's going to not let Jimmy dictate the policy.
Game to Lendl. He leads 2-1 in the third. Two all in the third.
Game Lendl.
Game to Lendl. He leads 3-2 in the third. We're on serve.
Stefan puts a little color in it himself with a between the leg shot, but the ball was out. He knows that this is out, so he's willing to do this.
Quiet, please.
But you can't get him to smile, can you?
He says that, you know, Swedes have a bad rap of being brooders. He said that's not true. He said, but he does say anybody who has to wait half the year for sunshine might get a little down.
I guess so.
Game Edberg.
Game to Edberg. 3 all.
A little more bounced at Edberg now, too. He's trying to get a break here.
Well, he's got some chances.
Got two of them right here. And the way Lendl's been going on the returns, you can see the Edberg is good at seizing those opportunities on the breaks. One break could be the match.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
I know, Pat, I'm sure there's some viewers that may not know what a break point means. What we're really talking about is the other person's serve, and if you can break his serve, win his serve, that gives you the advantage.
Also, they're not using the electronic machine, Cyclops, to call the service line. And by the linesperson. break. We'll be back at the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.
Edberg leads 4-3.
30-15.
Even when Lendl makes a good return, in most instances, Edberg is able to handle it. This was a fine return, low, but look what that good volley by Edberg does.
40-15 now. Edberg would be up 5-3.
All he's thinking, hold 2 more serves, and I'm in the locker room. I'm in the finals of the U.S. Open.
Game Edberg.
Well, he's got 5-3.
Edberg leads 5-3.
Ivan Lendl will think long and hard, I think, when this match is over. I'm assuming it will be over soon.
40-15.
Still trying to stay in there. This man Lendl, that the Grand Slams, he says very freely, mean everything to him. So I don't think Tony Roach likes his chances too much at this point. It's all he plays for, he says.
How do you like him, Mary?
I'm not too high on his chances myself, but it's rare that he goes through a year without a Grand Slam title. And he's about to be shut out of one for 1991.
40-30.
Samantha, his wife, is used to seeing him in the final of this event, that's for sure. He won it 3 times, 85, 86, 87. He was runner-up 5 times.
There's a behind the back. You can do it, I can do it.
What is going on here? Well, that pretty well sums up the day for Lendl.
And for Edberg.
Juice.
He never quit coming forward. At a 1, Tony Pickard. Can't believe it. See, Lendl says, I guess anybody can hit that shot. But he does have a sense of humor.
Both Lendl and Edberg have done that behind the back, and both were good shots.
That's right. They both won the points off that shot.
Advantage Lendl.
Game Lendl. Get 5-4. About the serve here again, Mary.
Another look, and again, what was real nice is the big smile that broke over Stefan's face when he hit that shot. This is, again, to be this dismissive of Ivan Lendl, who has won this title so many times, and if not in, if he hasn't won it, he's at least into the final, except, of course, when he was a quarterfinal loser to Sampras last year. That broke a remarkable streak of his. This is how Edberg played against Michael Chang, and beating him in straight sets.
Third ace by Edberg. 113 miles an hour.
Love.
30 Love, 2 points away from advancing to the finals. Stefan Edberg.
And he'll get to sit back and watch Connors and Courier play later today.
That's coming up after the women's final. Seles and Navratilova. Still to come here on CBS. Super Saturday continues.
You want to watch an eager guy trying to close out a match. Watch these feet. Good low volley. Little short steps. And that gets him to 3 match points. You're in Lendl's spot. You say, all I can do is just plug away. Just keep hanging in there. You just never know. Certainly seems and looks bleak.
Still match point.
One thing you do know is this guy's going to serve and volley.
Edberg.
6-3, 6-3,
With his 4th ace. Closes it out. 3-3 and 4.
Just overpowered Lendl. Outplayed him in every category. That guy's got nothing to hold his head down about, but just a great performance by the Swede. Here's match point, and Lendl gets a swing at this and just flat fans it to strike out. Ball jumped up awfully high. You'll get the feel for how Edberg likes it.
He played a tremendous match.
Annette Olson, his fiancée, and Tony Picard, his coach, at match point.
Right now, let's send you down to Tim Ryan.
Well, thank you, Pat. A brilliantly played match by Stefan Edberg, who was number 2 in the world on the ATP computer coming into this match today, but with his victory has now taken over the top spot, moving ahead of Boris Becker, who was eliminated from the number 1 position when he lost in the 3rd round, combined with Edberg's victory here this afternoon. And so that's the 3rd time Edberg has been number 1 in the world. He's never made a big deal about it, but he is happy to be there.
Stefan, congratulations. Throughout this tournament, Ivan Lendl has been able to come back and come back. You didn't even give him a chance today.
No, you can't give him too many chances. He's going to take it. But today I thought I played a very good match. Ivan wasn't at his best, obviously, but, you know, I stayed there. And, you know, I had a few chances to break me in the beginning of the 3rd set, but I've kept in there.
You're playing better and better with each match in the finals for the first time in your career. Is this your year?
Well, I'm hoping. There's still one more to go, probably the most difficult one. And, you know, I'm very pleased the way I've been playing, especially the last 3 matches here where I've really picked up my game. And I just hope I can keep it for another match.
Now, you will face either Courier or Connors tomorrow afternoon. Is there a part of you that would like to avoid that Connors emotional train?
No, not really. I think both of them are 2 really good players. They're both playing very well at the moment. And whoever I'm going to play tomorrow, I think I'm in for a tough match, whether it's Courier or Connors.
Well, congratulations and good luck tomorrow. Thanks again. All right, let's go back to the studio and Tim Ryan.